Hi friends, this is Keerti, a biomedical engineer. Welcome to our channel, Mr. Biomedical. Please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you'll not miss our upcoming videos. So, let me ask you a simple question before getting into today's video. How many times do you think a blood pressure monitor is used in hospital every day? Hundreds of times, right? Now, imagine if this device gives a wrong reading. A patient with normal BP may be diagnosed with a hypertension, or a critical patient may not receive a treatment on time. Am I correct? That is why biomedical service engineers play a very important role. You might think BP apparatus is a small apparatus only. No, why should we see the troubleshooting video of this apparatus? The equipment might look small, but the most used equipment in the hospital is BP apparatus. It is used for every patient. Today, we will learn how to troubleshoot a BP apparatus like a service engineer. We will discuss three common faults: device not powering on, cuff not inflating, and inaccurate BP readings. By the end of this session, you should be able to identify the faults and find the root cause and restore the device to a working condition. So the first problem which we are seeing here is device not powering on. Suppose if a nurse calls you and say, "Sir, the BP apparatus is not switching on," what will you do first? What many beginners will think is immediately open the device, but a good service engineer always starts with a simple checks. I have mentioned this in every troubleshooting video, so don't get bored of it because it is very important. First, check the battery. Are the batteries is discharged? Are they inserted correctly? Next, inspect the battery terminals. Do you see any corrosion or rust? If yes, clean it carefully. If the device uses an adapter, check the adapter voltage using a multimeter. Now let's think, what if batteries and adapters are okay but still no power? Then we can suspect an internal problem such as loose connector, damaged PCB, faulty power circuit. Remember this rule: simple causes first, then you should think about complex causes later. Can anyone tell me why this approach saves time during troubleshooting? In the comment section, please answer that question, okay? Now, the next problem which we are facing is cuff is not inflating. Inflating means no, it should like inflate like a balloon. You might have seen that. Now let's move to another common complaint. Now the nurse presses the start button, but the cuff is not at all inflating. It is in the same size. What is the first thing that comes to your mind as a biomedical engineer? What is the first thing? It means there is an air leak. Now what we should do? We should trace the airflow path together. Air starts from where? Pump. Moves through the tubing, passes the valve, and finally reaches the cuff. If any component here leaks, pressure will not build up. Okay, that's why the cuff is not inflating. As a service engineer, first we have to inflate the cuff bladder. Then we have to see the air tubing, connectors, and air pump monitor. Here's a practical question. If the cuff is inflated to 180 mmHg and after 1 minute it drops significantly, what does it indicate? If the cuff inflated, okay, after 1 minute it drops, what does it indicate? Means there is some leak. A useful trick is to bend the tubing and inspect carefully because tiny cracks may not be visible. Always troubleshoot systematically from the pump to the cuff instead randomly replacing the parts. Then inaccurate BP readings. Now we are going to discuss the most dangerous fault. The monitor is working, the cuff is also inflating. You might think, yeah, the BP apparatus is working correctly only. No, but the readings are wrong. Why is this dangerous? Because doctors make treatment decision based on this value. Because if a patient has a higher BP or lower BP, only they know by this equipment. This can lead to an unnecessary medication or few patients may not receive medication at time. So what causes inaccurate reading means a drift in a sensor or a calibration errors, again air leak and wrong cuff placement. Cuff should be placed properly and incorrect cuff size. As a service engineer, we perform calibration. We connect the monitor to a reference manometer and compare readings at different pressures such as 50, 100, 150 and 200 mg. The difference should be within plus or minus 3 mmHg. If it is not more than that, then there is some issue. Can anyone tell me why calibration is important in medical devices in comment section? Okay. Exactly, because patient safety depends on measurement accuracy. Never assume the device is faulty until you have checked cuff position and user handling. So, before we finish, I have one final question. Which is better, repairing a failed device failure in the first place? Of course, prevention is better than cure. That's why preventive maintenance is essential. As a service engineer, we should calibrate every 6 months, check the cuffs and tubing regularly, replace the weak batteries, clean the terminals, and store devices properly. Whenever a fault occurs, follow the 4 steps. Identify the symptom, find the root cause, fix the problem, and verify the performance. Okay? Remember, we are not just repairing the equipment, we are ensuring accurate diagnosis, patient safety, and quality healthcare. Thank you, everyone.